told you that the most important audition in Bollywood history didn't actually happen in some sterile casting room.
Right.
Like, it happened on a dusty college cricket pitch by a guy who literally had no idea he was even being evaluated.
It's crazy because it completely flips how we normally think about success, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we usually assume those big career-defining moments happen when we're, meticulously prepared, staring right at the decision makers.
Yeah.
But the most revealing tests are often the ones we don't even know we're taking.
So today we are diving into our source material, specifically Chapter 8. It's called The Champion's Path, The Legend's Blessing. And our mission for this deep dive is to dissect this truly extraordinary sequence of events.
There really is.
We're looking at a story where high-stakes college sports drama just crashes headfirst into the glittering, totally ruthless politics of Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
And it results in a moment of absolute narrative destiny. What we really want to pull out of these sources for you is the mechanics behind it. Like, how does someone navigate this insane level of pressure?
Because at its core, this isn't just a story about catching a lucky break. It's really a masterclass in extreme discipline.
Right.
It asks a really uncomfortable question for all of us. What is your true character when you think absolutely no one of consequence is watching you?
Let's get right into it. And, well, we have to start at the absolute opposite end of the glamour spectrum to really understand what drives our subject, Anant.
Yeah, totally.
So picture this. It's the morning after final exams. We are in a cramped, incredibly unglamorous hostel room at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi.
Just a standard dorm setup.
Exactly. And Ed is packing his bags. He's exhausted. And suddenly there's a knock, and 5 nervous members of the IIT Delhi cricket team swarm his room.
Led by their captain, Rohan.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely aren't there to congratulate him on finishing his exams.
No, not at all.
They are making this desperate plea for him to play in the Inter-IIT Championship final against their massive rival, IIT Bombay.
And the sources mention they bring up a previous match where they were down 43-5. Now, for those of us who aren't, massive cricket fanatics, what does that actually mean in terms of panic on the field?
Oh, it's an apocalyptic collapse.
Really?
Yeah, it basically means 5 out of your 11 batters have already been eliminated, and your team has only managed to score 43 runs.
Wow.
In cricket, that's the equivalent of being down by 30 points in the first quarter of a basketball game.
Okay, so total disaster.
Exactly. But in that previous semifinal they're talking about, Anant came in, scored 127 runs without getting out, and just single-handedly dragged them to victory.
That's insane.
So these 5 guys in his dorm room, they know he is quite literally their only hope for the final.
And they are asking him to commit to a logistical timeline that is just, it's absurd.
This is completely punishing.
Right. So he has to attend a massive success party for his blockbuster film, Uri, in Mumbai on Friday night. Then he's supposed to take a late-night flight back to Delhi.
Attach maybe 2 hours of sleep, if that.
Yeah. Play this grueling championship cricket match on Saturday morning and then immediately fly back to Mumbai for a massive secret meeting on Sunday about starring in a biopic.
It's exhausting just hearing it.
I mean, think about trying to survive a corporate merger while running a marathon on basically no sleep.
Right.
Why would someone who is right on the verge of national superstardom risk physical exhaustion or worse, a career-ruining injury for a college match?
You really have to look at it from the angle of his internal wiring.
Mm-hmm.
To Anant, keeping a promise to his team, these guys he literally calls his brothers. It isn't a distraction from his career.
Right.
It's the structural foundation of his character. He doesn't view his college friends as like stepping stones he can just discard now that he has celebrity status.
That makes sense.
And that specific trait, that unshakable loyalty, is the exact armor he needs for the environment he's about to walk into.
So we see he's incredibly loyal under the pressure of sheer exhaustion. But, physical exhaustion is one thing. Navigating a room full of egos trying to use you is something entirely different.
Oh, totally.
How does he handle the Bollywood Shark Tank on Friday night? Because the whiplash here is insane. We go from a cramped dorm room straight into the grand ballroom of a 5-star Mumbai hotel.
It's the absolute epicenter of the Bollywood establishment. This is the success party for Uri, which the sources note is a 450 crore hit.
Which is huge.
Yeah, to put that in perspective, we're talking about roughly $50 million in a market where ticket prices are just a fraction of what they are in the West.
Wow.
It is a seismic, industry-shaking blockbuster.
So naturally, every director, producer, and tycoon is circling this new phenomenon who seemingly just came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And the sources detail these intense interactions with industry veterans like Mohit Raina and Yami Gautam. They actively pull him aside to warn him about vultures.
Right.
What kind of threat are they actually warning him about there?
Well, they're warning him about the predatory nature of sudden fame.
Hmm.
In that ecosystem, people will absolutely try to use a rising star for, strategic romances, calculated PR networking, image laundering.
Just leeching off his momentum.
Exactly. They're basically telling him, look, to the people in this ballroom, you aren't a human being.
Yeah.
You are a commodity to be traded.
But instead of getting paranoid, Anand has this deep conversation with Vijay Oberoi, who is the head of Fox Star Studios, and it completely shifts the dynamic.
It really does.
Vijay asks him how he balances an engineering degree with acting. And I read this part of the source material and thought, okay, he's going to give some cliche answer about, following his heart or whatever.
Right, the standard PR response.
Exactly. But he doesn't. He breaks down an entire methodology. How is he actually applying engineering to acting?
This is where we really see his unique operating system. An engineering background at IIT is entirely about understanding complex systems, identifying variables, optimizing outputs.
Okay.
So Anant explains to Vijay that he treats a script like a system. He doesn't rely on spontaneous emotion. Add to that his physical disciplines. He does yoga and Kalari, which is this ancient Indian martial art that builds hyper-precise spatial awareness.
Oh.
Yeah, he treats his body and mind as a machine that can be calibrated to produce a specific character.
I hear that, but let me push back a bit here.
Sure.
Doesn't every aspiring actor claim to have some rigorous method? Like, what actually makes this guy different from a wealthy star kid who just hired a really good PR coach to feed him smart-sounding sound bites?
That's a fair question. The difference is the complete absence of ego in the execution. A PR-coached actor is still fundamentally concerned with how they appear.
Right, the optic.
Exactly. But Anand approaches acting as data processing. When you apply an engineering mindset to a highly glamorous industry, you naturally strip away the superficiality. You aren't distracted by the vultures at the party because your focus is entirely on the structural integrity of your own craft, not the flashing lights around it.
That makes a lot of sense.
And Vijay Oberoi is a studio head who deals with fragile egos all day long. Hearing a young actor articulate a systemic, ego-free methodology, it absolutely floors him.
And just as Vijay is processing this, Anand's director, Aditya, walks up and drops a casual bomb.
Oh, this is the best part.
Anand mentions he has to leave early to catch his flight for the college cricket match. Vijay is understandably confused, and Aditya just casually reveals that Anand is a championship-level cricketer who single-handedly won the Inter-IIP tournament.
And you really have to remember the hidden context here. Vijay is secretly in the process of casting the MS Dhoni biopic.
Right?
He needs an actor who can convincingly portray one of the most legendary, stoic cricketers in human history. And suddenly, he discovers his top candidate isn't just an actor hitting the gym. He's a highly analytical, systems-driven championship batsman.
So this casual comment sparks a massive chain reaction. We move to a quiet, secret phone call in the corridor of this glitzy hotel. Vijay immediately calls MS Dhoni himself.
Yes. Vijay relays this incredible coincidence, and Dhoni makes an immediate, highly calculated decision.
Right.
He's going to launch a secret reconnaissance mission to IIT Delhi the very next morning.
So Dhoni decides to go completely undercover, like sunglasses and a cap, to sit in the stands of a college match. It's the ultimate secret shopper evaluation.
It really is.
But why? I mean, why would MS Dhoni, a guy who could demand a bespoke multi-million-dollar screen test, care more about observing a dusty college cricket match than seeing a polished acting reel?
It comes down to the psychology of performance. Auditions and acting reels are, by definition, filtered.
Right, you're putting on a show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The actor knows the casting director is watching, so they perform the version of themselves they think the director wants to see.
Oh.
Dhoni explicitly tells Vijay he doesn't want Anant to know she's there. He wants to strip away that performance bias. You can teach an actor how to fence a cricket swing on camera.
Sure.
What you cannot fake is your biological autonomic nervous system response to a collapsing batting order when everything is on the line. Dhoni wanted to see Anant's raw, unscripted temperament.
Which brings us to Saturday morning. The universe decides to provide the absolute most grueling psychological stress test imaginable.
Oh, it's brutal.
The crowd at the IIT Delhi pitch is massive. thousands of students, fangirls holding up signs, local media everywhere. And hidden up in the VIP stands are Dhoni, the director Neeraj Pandey, and Vijay Oberoi.
Right.
What is the situation on the field when Anant finally walks out?
It is an absolute disaster. IIT Delhi is chasing a massive target of 287 runs, and their batting order has completely imploded. They are 23 for 3.
So, massive panic. The team is looking at him to save them again, and he's operating on barely any sleep.
Practically none.
How does a guy who just got off a red-eye flight handle that level of immediate pressure?
By falling back on that exact engineering methodology he talked about. He doesn't try to be a hero immediately.
No.
For 5 agonizing overs, he does nothing but aggressively defend.
Just blocking.
Yeah, he blocks the ball. He takes 0 risks. He's literally stabilizing the system. And Dhoni is in the stands observing all this, noting that Anant is prioritizing the team's survival over his own ego to go out there and hit flashy boundaries.
But once he stabilizes it, he shifts gears. And there is this incredible moment with the opposing team's bowler. The sources describe it as an intimidation attempt by a fast medium pacer throwing bouncers.
Right.
Can you break down the physics and psychology of what is actually happening there?
Sure. So a fast medium pacer is hurling a hard letter ball at roughly 80 to 85 miles per hour.
Which is terrifying.
Extremely. A bouncer is a specific tactic where the bowler pitches the ball short so that it bounces up aggressively toward the batter's ribs or head.
Oh, wow.
It is explicitly designed to trigger the batter's fight-or-flight response. It's physical intimidation meant to make you angry, scared, or reckless.
And the sources say the bowler sends 2 of these bouncers right at Anant. How does he react?
He effortlessly ducks both of them. He shows absolutely no emotion. He simply overrides his amygdala's panic signal.
Just total ice in his veins.
Exactly. So on the 3rd ball, the bowler gets frustrated and pitches it up, trying to catch him off guard. Because Anant is perfectly calm, he steps right into it and hits a textbook straight drive for a massive 6 runs.
It's the difference between being a thermometer and a thermostat.
I like that.
Yeah, like a thermometer just reacts to the heat of the moment, the bouncer, the aggressive crowd, the fatigue. But Anant is acting as a thermostat. He acknowledges the temperature spike, resets, and dictates his own internal climate.
That is a phenomenal way to look at it. And from a psychological standpoint, that is exactly what cements Dhoni's opinion.
Really?
Yeah, Anant absorbed physical intimidation, waited for the optimal data point, which was the pitched up ball, and executed perfectly.
But the moment that really defines this entire deep dive happens when Anant reaches 98 runs.
Oh, this part is incredible.
He is 2 runs away from a century, which is a massive personal milestone. The bowler throws an unclayable ball, Anant gets an edge, and it flies right to the slip fielder.
Right.
The fielder dives, gets his hands on it, and drops it. Anant survives on pure luck. But his reaction is what really caught me, or rather his lack of reaction.
Yes.
No sigh of relief, no looking up at the sky. He just immediately refocuses. He hits the century 2 balls later and eventually smashes 134 runs, winning the historic 3rd consecutive title.
Unbelievable.
I have to ask, is surviving that 98-run dropped catch without showing any emotion actually a harder psychological feat than physically hitting the 134 runs?
Without a doubt. I mean, physical execution at that level is heavily reliant on muscle memory. But psychological regulation under a massive adrenaline spike, that is pure mastery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you are 2 runs away from a century and you almost lose it, your ego is screaming for validation. You want to react.
Right, you want to exhale at least.
Exactly. By showing 0 emotion, Anant proved he wasn't playing for the personal milestone. He was playing for the team's victory. That total sublimation of ego is incredibly rare. And Dhoni watched that dropped catch and recognized his own reflection. That famous stoicism Dhoni is known for globally, and not possessed it organically.
Which brings us to the cinematic climax. The match is won. The secret test is passed. We're at the post-match presentation.
The tension here must have been wild.
Oh, yeah. The IIT Delhi team is lined up, waiting for the championship trophy. And suddenly, MS Dhoni steps out of the stands, completely unmasked.
The visual must have been staggering. You have a crowd of thousands, the exhausted players, the media, and everyone just goes into absolute pandemonium.
Dhoni walks right up to the match referee, personally takes the Inter-IIP Championship trophy from his trembling hands and hands it directly to Anant.
Goosebumps.
And then Dhoni asks for the PA system. He doesn't just say, like, good game. He announces to the screaming crowd and the scrambling journalists that Anant Sharma will be portraying him in his official biopic.
It's just unbelievable.
I am just marveling at the sheer audacity of this move. Why do it this way? Like, why not just issue a polished press release from some Mumbai PR office on Monday morning?
Because Dhoni understands power dynamics better than anyone.
Okay, how so?
By blessing Anant right there on that college pitch, covered in sweat in front of students, diehard fans, and local sports media, Dhoni is authenticating Anant to the exact grassroots demographic that will dictate the film's success.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He completely bypasses the traditional Bollywood gatekeepers. A press release invites skepticism. A public crowning on a cricket pitch makes the casting unassailable.
Wow.
He's basically telling the world he didn't win this role in a boardroom, he earned it on the field.
And you cannot drop a pop culture nuclear bomb like that without massive shockwaves. The aftermath detailed in the sources is intense.
Oh, the fallout was huge.
The video of the announcement hits 100 million views across platforms in a matter of hours. The internet essentially breaks. But the reaction within the Bollywood industry is sharply divided, isn't it?
It really exposes the underlying fault lines of the industry. The established Bollywood dynasties, like the star kids who have trained for years with dialect coaches and massive PR machines, they experience a collective meltdown.
The sources mentioned they were furious, blaming it all on luck.
Right.
They are complaining that it's unfair an outsider gets a massive hit with Uri and then immediately lands the coveted Dhoni biopic just by, being at a college catch.
But notice the psychology behind their anger. They have to rationalize Anant's success as luck.
Because the alternative is too painful.
Exactly. Because if they admit it was based on rigorous merit, extreme discipline, and genuine talent, they would be forced to question the legitimacy of their own manufactured success.
That is fascinating. But let me challenge that dynamic, though. We see these star kids furious, but the sources also show industry veterans like Manoj Bajpayee and Naseeruddin Shah actively celebrating Anant.
Yes, they loved it.
So is the industry actually shifting toward a true meritocracy where authenticity wins out? Or is Anant just a once-in-a-generation glitch in the Bollywood matrix that the insiders are angry they can't replicate?
I'd argue he is a glitch that exposes the system rather than proof the system has completely changed.
Okay. Why?
It's incredibly rare to find an IIT engineering mind who is also a championship athlete, who also possesses deep theatrical training. The veterans celebrate him because they know his hidden roots. The sources note Anant's father was a gold medalist from the prestigious National School of Drama. Anant had this foundational lineage, but he chose to build his reputation on his own merit first, rather than using his father's name as a skeleton key to the industry.
That takes so much integrity.
It does.
Yeah.
He proved to the veterans that undeniable merit can still bypass the gatekeepers, even if it's not the daily norm.
And amidst all this deafening noise, like the fury of the star kids, the 100 million views, the media literally laying siege to his family's restaurant in Chandni Chowk receives a late-night phone call from producer Ronnie Scrivala.
Right, a really important call.
Ronnie cuts through all the hype and tells him, you didn't win this because of your acting. You won this because of your character under pressure.
Which is the ultimate anchor for Anant. The most profound part of navigating this 48-hour whirlwind is how he grounds himself in the aftermath. He doesn't let the viral fame inflate his ego. He anchors himself to a core value his father taught him. Success means nothing if you lose yourself in chasing it.
He is still Anant from Chandni Chowk, the guy who just wanted to keep a promise to his friends.
Exactly.
If he hadn't honored that seemingly inconvenient promise, if he had let his exhaustion or his new Bollywood status convince him to skip the college match, he would have never been on that pitch for Dhoni to observe.
It perfectly illustrates that character isn't formed when the spotlight turns on. It is simply revealed there.
Which brings me to a final thought for you to mull over. Think about the concept of the silent observer.
It's a powerful idea.
So often in our own lives, we perform for the people we know are watching us, our bosses in a meeting, our audiences, our social media followers.
Right.
But this story proves that your true character is entirely defined by how you act when you think absolutely no one of consequence is looking.
Absolutely.
Think about the promises you keep when there is no external reward. Who are you when you're just keeping a quiet commitment to a friend in a cramped room? Because that, ultimately, is the version of you that the world will eventually reward.